Hello, this is your author Mark coming to you with another interesting YouTube discussion. Well, yesterday I was watching a little bit of Fox Business Network, and one of the hosts, Stuart Varney, I might add, he said that Donald Trump wants to eliminate the Department of Education. And, they had an argument back and forth for and against, blah, blah, blah. But here's my take on this thing. I would say that eliminating the education department is one of the best ideas that he ever had, because think about. We're going to get into this discussion further, but in reality, because for those of you who don't know, there was a time in America once that education was actually in the hands of your state that you lived in. It was based on a local level, and it actually worked, and it actually worked. Now, to be honest with you, when some of you may say, "Oh, eliminating a Department of Education is a bad idea." There's going to be a lot of people back and forth. No, we can't do this. We should do this. Blah blah blah. But here's the actual deal. You have to ask yourself a question. Now, besides whether this is a good idea or a bad idea, to be honest with you, in America today, education system today is in a dumper, because you have to think about, have our kids and even recent college graduates, have they gotten smarter? Have the schools, whether high school, grade school, or college, have they equipped the young people today in order to compete in the job market of the future? Well, and to answer each of those questions, I would say no. Now, when we talk about equipping our young people to face the job market of today and the future, we have to talk about also the international job market, because we all know that our economic system is fluid, and it changes. The economy changes day by day. So when we talk about and why do I say that elimination of the education department is way overdue? That is because a lot of people from President Clinton on down talked about reforming education, making the education better, but the thing is, nobody actually took, as they say, took the bull by the horns and actually look at the system, at the education system. Now, because also, in my opinion as well, education should be moved back to the states, and the parents should be more involved in your children's schools, and and parents better find some time to go to the school board meetings, etc., etc. So would I support eliminating the education department and giving the responsibility of education of our young people to the states? Absolutely. This would definitely cut down on some bureaucracy. I think the parents would have had more say about how our education system functions, and then maybe if we take these steps of eliminating the education department, etc., etc., maybe then we would get some genuine, what do we call, education reform. Now, because to be honest with you, with this education system here in America, our kids are not going to be able to compete for jobs of tomorrow. I mean, and also when we talk about education reform and all this stuff, because our kids and our young people today are actually competing against the the people from other countries, because reforming and revamping the education system in America is one thing, but there's also has to be another reform that has to take place in order to have some real education reform. Is we will have to do something about called the B3B visa programs, because just because the companies for example of course some of our young people are still very smart and all that stuff. They go to college and they do the right thing, but they cannot compete. One of the reasons that they cannot compete in the job market today is because because a lot of companies, especially in the computer and IT fields, bring foreign workers from other countries. So there has to be some major reforms in our education system, ladies and gentlemen, but there also has to be some reform to the B3B visa program. Now, the other thing too, I mean, and like I said, yes, I would support eliminating the education department, because I mean really, and you have to ask yourself this question: are our kids smarter than those kids who actually graduated before them? No, they are not. Now, this element, of course, there's going to be a lot of rigmarole, and people will go back and forth about this issue of eliminating the education department and all this other thing. But what you have to realize is that the only people who are going to complain about the elimination of the education department, in my opinion, are the teachers unions and all that other stuff. Because really, because in reality, when the education system goes back to the states, ladies and gentlemen, then the unions themselves, the teachers union, will definitely lose their power, and that might be a good thing too, because then the parents of the kids who go to school today, whether they go to grade school or high school, they will have to really get involved. Now, I have published a book called progressive credentialism versus ageism. And in that particular book, I explain how our education system works, and sometimes I even explain how our education system doesn't work. Now, that book is still available on Amazon for sale, and you can buy them. And I am going to leave the link in the description of this video, and I'm going to leave that link to that book in my comments section. So like I said, is the elimination of the education department a good idea? Yes, because then hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we will get some when the states take control of the education systems. Maybe then we will be able to get some genuine education reform that would make the education system more comparative, and maybe then our kids will be prepared to deal with the job market of the future. Now, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will see you in my next video.